the African perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's the Tuesday edition of The Upside. Here comes my favorite part. Let's go. Oh, cut two. Yeah. Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Now, so. Hey. Come on. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And do me a favor, download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. It's a good afternoon to you, Mmatsheko Mosito. How are you doing?
Hey, Tara. I'm good. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday to you.
Fantastic Tuesday. It started off clear skies, no cloud in sight. Now it's about 1 o'clock. What is it? 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There are clouds everywhere.
What's going on in this country?
I have no idea what's going on. I went for a hike this morning. It was beautiful, no clouds, and now all of a Sunday. Anyway, here's what's coming up on The Upside this afternoon. We share some gifting ideas for Christmas. Have you bought your Christmas gifts for the kids, for the family?
I am an organized human being, so yes, I have bought gifts.
I wonder if it includes natural and CBD-infused skincare, which is emerging as one of South Africa's most meaningful holiday gift trends. We'll be unpacking that. Then we'll be getting into conversation with South African journalist and film lover Lelo Mzaka. He's got a book out. In that book, he is sharing and reflecting on some films that have been created in South Africa over the decades, and these films have shaped South Africa's past, its present, and cultural identity. And so in that book, he's listing all of them, he's unpacking behind the scenes, he's reviewing them. I can't wait to have a chat with him about that. Then our final story has to do with Indian culture. Not a film that we have seen so far. From your perspective.
Yes, look, Indian culture is always so beautiful when it manifests in film, in fashion, and definitely in the cuisine. So it's never a bad idea to explore that country in that manner. There's northern India, there's southern India. I mean, there's just so much to explore.
100%. So we'll be exploring the film The Cane Cutter, which brings 165 years of South African Indian history to life through a love story that spans generations. That's all coming up on The Upside. Send us a voice note. Where are you streaming us from this afternoon? +27 63 406 9126. It's gone 9 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to The Upside.
Africa.
That's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Anybody will won't fight you, may they come, they already know. I'll be right beside you, like the wall of Jericho. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. Monagiso, 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 my baby boo. I'll be a soldier for you. I'm getting better in Kung Fu. You should know I got it, and you don't need to guide me too. I'll be right beside you in anything that you do. If you ever need saving, I will be running to you, running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you. Anywhere that you go to.
When I'm looking for trouble, it's cause I know that I got you. Wanting more best everybody, and it's because of your kung fu. And anytime that I'm out of control, you hold me down. You never let go. Yeah, my baby boo. See all the battles you'll be fighting, and I'll be right there with you. I may be small, but I'm mighty, and I go running for you. And anybody ways I be here, don't be you pull it, I be alright. And if I ever need saving, I'll be running to you.
Running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you.
You go there for me, anywhere that you go.
You don't need to worry, anything you want.
Sun up to sundown, love me no go round down.
Hey, anytime you come with me, baby, I go answer.
Any other brother, baby, you make them run out.
And if you want me coming to you, I go come to you.
All you wanna see me, baby, don't choose me.
Tell me what you want, baby, say I'm not in my mind.
Thank you, baby.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
13:13 on the digital clock. Thank you very much for joining us. This is The Upside. Mmatsheko, Mosito, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and you as the Upsider. It is wonderful to have you join us for the Tuesday edition. We are, 9 days into December, already counting down with confidence towards the end of the year, because we've got a new year to usher in the next few days. But thank you very much for being here. We're on until 4 p.m.
Listen, I was asking earlier if you had bought your Christmas gifts and items for the kids and the little ones, and I asked does it include any natural or CBD infused products? Did you consider skincare for the
now
kids?
I feel really bad because it doesn't, but it should.
Wait, what did you get for them then?
All sorts of things.
All right. In studio, ladies and gentlemen, as the holiday season approaches, many South Africans are making careful choices about the gifts they give. With that in mind, there is a growing interest in gifts that offer real value and personal benefit. Natural skincare products, especially those made with clean and nourishing ingredients, provide lasting care rather than a moment of surprise. Among those leading this conversation is Gillian Nyakane, founder of Gilly's Natural. She is encouraging people to think about gifts that promote healthier routines, from skincare made with gentle botanical ingredients to products infused with CBD, which continues to gain attention for its role in soothing and supporting the skin. Ladies and gentlemen, she joins us now in the studio. Gillian, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I am fine, thank you.
Tell us about the skincare entrepreneurial journey that you've undertaken. Was this always part of the plan? Did it find you? Because judging by the skin, it's like, no, this was a natural transition.
Thank you. So, actually, it started with acne. I had adult acne, and I was like, "How is it? How is it possible?"
Wow.
I thought acne affected like teenagers.
Yeah.
But I realized that even adults get affected with acne, and I thought I want a plant-based natural solution. At that point, I didn't even know what it meant. Is it products? Is it pills? Like what?
Yes, yes, yes.
And then later on, I thought, okay, I'm at home. Let me try something. And obviously, the best place to start is your kitchen, where you have pantry-based and natural ingredients.
Yeah.
So I'd start playing around with like apple cider vinegar, make avocado masks, etc. And then I started experimenting with essential oils as well. Essential oils are oils extracted from herbs and plants.
Yeah.
Very potent, and they're good for the skin.
Yeah.
And then I discovered shea butter, and that's where Jilly's Natural started, because it was just so moisturizing on the skin and the hair, and I was like, oh, okay. I even stopped focusing on the acne and focused on the body, because I was like, wow, my skin is looking good, my hair is looking good as well. And that's where Jilly's Natural started.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
You obviously love this product, because I don't see a stitch of acne anywhere. We're going to talk about just the power of the actual product. Yeah. But, many African people are moving towards being more conscious, or exercising consciousness, especially when it comes to gifting. We want to consider our pockets, but we also want to give gifts that people are actually going to use. So let's talk about, skincare as a gift. I think, considering the time of year, which is the time of giving, others are Thanksgiving in other parts of the world. People will be Christmasing for those that follow the faith, but it is a season of giving.
Yes.
So giving skincare products at this time, talk to us about that.
Okay, so conscious giving is about giving with the intention of wellness and well-being for the receiver. So it's not just, okay, I'm just gonna give this and then you'll just, So, and CBD is calming and soothing on the skin, and it works with the overall endocannabinoid system to ensure that the body is in homeostasis. That means it's balanced, So it works with the body to keep it calm and soothed. Yeah. And then it just works with the body, and obviously it's not harmful. Like, who wouldn't want that? You want a gift that promotes the wellness and the well-being of the receiver. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It's 18 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We are currently in conversation with Gillian Nyakane, founder of Jilly's Natural, a proudly local brand championing skincare crafted with intention. We'll continue our conversation with her right after this.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
It's 19 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome back to The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with me, Tebogo, Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok is where we are streaming live. And do me a favor, download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. Still in conversation, she joins us in studio with Gillian Nyakane, founder of Jilly's Natural, a proudly local brand championing skincare crafted with intention. From gentle botanicals to CBD infused formulations designed to soothe and support the skin. Gillian, I've heard many a times people use the whole CBD infused. What does that actually mean? Is that just a play on words and a marketing gimmick? Do traces of CBD, are they found in that product, and does it actually benefit us in real time?
So it's definitely not a marketing a gimmick, and I think the reason why it seems like it's a marketing gimmick is because people don't understand. So in order to explain CBD, I first have to explain what is the endocannabinoid system in the body, which is also called ECS. So the endocannabinoid system is found in the brain and the whole body to regulate the homeostasis of the body. So it's supposed to bring the body into balance.
Okay.
So it regulates things like pain, appetite, mood, temperature, etc. So it's not just skin, but everything in our body, and it's found everywhere. And the body produces it. So it's called cannabinoids in the body. So when we narrow it down to skin, if you cut yourself and then after a few days you realize that, okay, now the cut has healed, what has the body done? It has healed you. It has used those cannabinoids.
Okay.
Right. So understand that.
Okay.
Then let's move to cannabis. Cannabis, that is the plant that we extract CBD from. It's called phytocannabinoids because they're coming from the plant. So we've got cannabinoids in the body and we've got phytocannabinoids. There are over 100 phytocannabinoids. And then the most well-known is THC and CBD, which is cannabidiol. So THC is the one that gets you high. That's THC that's not yet legal in South Africa in most countries. And then we've got CBD. So CBD is relaxing, soothing, calming, healing, and it's what makes you feel mellow, right? So you see, cannabinoids in the body and cannabinoids from the plant, they've got similar molecular structure. So when you use it on your body, in your skin, it's working with the body. It enhances the skin functionality and performance. That is why CBD is so powerful and potent, and that's why there's a hype. There should be a hype, because if you are using a product that works with your body, shouldn't there be a hype about it? There should be a hype. So I think that's where there isn't enough understanding in the public, and why we talk so much about it and why we love it.
This is such a wonderful masterclass on what holistic skincare, sounds like, because a lot of the time we just think creams are topical and that's where it ends.
Yeah.
But if whatever it is that I'm putting on my skin can work with my liver and my gut and my brain and elevate my mood and take over my hormonal health, listen, I'm buying that product as in yesterday.
Yes.
But there's another concern with people that have small children or babies, because a lot of the time is, can I use this on my baby? Then it means it's safe. Can I feed this to my baby? Then it means I can consume it, because we don't want preservatives in the stuff that we consume to give to babies. So are your products baby and child friendly?
They are definitely child friendly, and they are dermatologically tested. Yeah.
Okay.
Very important indeed. Walk us through your catalog, your skincare range, because like we said, it is the festive season. We are getting ready to gift our friends and family, and one way to do it is through natural products, CBD infused skincare products. So what is currently in your range?
Okay, so with Julie's Natural, we have a range that is CBD, and we have one that does not have CBD. Okay. So I'll start with the CBD range. We've got a face wash, which is obviously so gentle for people with oily skin or dry skin. It's got niacinamide, it's got aloe vera. Aloe vera as well is...
Music. All I'm hearing is music.
Yes! It's so gentle and it smells amazing as well. And then we've got the facial toners as well. We've got rose water, which comes from roses. It's It's a botanical as well, very gentle on the skin. We've got witch hazel toner as well, and then you can use our CBD face cream, especially those who are struggling with acne and have oily skin. And then we have our amazing CBD body wash, which smells amazing. It's as if you're in safari.
Oh, I love that. Gillian,
You're already on holiday.
I love that feeling. We're already on holiday anyway.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I don't want to get it wrong. You said something about a witch. You said a witch and witch
hazel.
Oh,
Witch hazel. Yes.
Oh, please tell me, what is a witch hazel? My first time hearing that.
Witch hazel is extracted from, it's a Native American shrub. So it's used for many uses, but we use it as a toner, which you can balance the pH levels of your skin, and you can use it to remove makeup, ladies. And we are finding many uses as well. You can even use it under the armpits to manage the smell just before applying deodorant. And then you can also use it as an aftershave. Men, women, especially men, after shaving, the skin gets very inflamed and irritated.
Yeah.
So witch hazel soothes the skin in a most gentle way.
I think I'm going to gift myself. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about accessibility of the product because I'm listening now. I'm in Malawi or I'm in Zambia or I'm in Lesotho and I want to get myself some of your products. Where can we get access to market?
Yes, and access to market is very important. So I will start off by saying that we're available online on our website. We've got an e-commerce shop, so people can find us there, www.chilisnatural.co.za, and then we can ship to Malawi, to Zambia, wherever. And then we also have our own shop in Naturena, 109 Main Road, and we use our CBD range there, where you can even get a massage to relieve to relieve the pain. And then we are on Amazon, Take a Lot. There's a beauty store in Edenvine, Mainland Mall, so our products are there. And there's also a dispensary in Cape Town, 75 Kloof Street, so people in Cape Town can get the product there. And the most
amazing,
exciting one, I kept it last. We're gonna be having our products in Game and Walmart this month.
Oh, shine!
Congratulations!
Yes, so we're really excited about that. So you're gonna get the witch hazel there. But Amazon and Walmart, they don't promote products with CBD yet. So it's gonna be our range without CBD.
Oh, Gillian, I love your growth. I love the expansion. I love the fact that it's accessible, not just here in South Africa, but you ship throughout the continent, basically.
Yeah.
I want to get into your mindset, because entrepreneurship is not an easy journey.
No, it's not.
It's not an easy journey. Talk to us about your mindset that's kept you going and so consistent, so disciplined over this period.
Well, I think it's really also the grace of God. I can't really pinpoint what it is. So firstly, it's really the grace of God, and secondly is just doing it. Do it. And I think having the vision, knowing where I was going, and I mean there have been so many rejections, so many no's, and so many. Almost there. We were almost there, and then, we didn't make it. And so just the perseverance and having that vision, knowing that this is where I'm going. And sometimes I didn't even know this is where I was going. I'm like, I'm just So that's what I'm saying. It's also the grace of God. And then I think this year the most important one was just discipline and consistency. Doing things, even if I don't feel like doing them, they have to be done. It's not fun, it's boring, but they have to be done. And but the mind gets used to working, whether you feel like it or not. So I think that discipline, being able to do things whether you feel like it or not. So, and one of the things that I do this year is I just have a structure. I know that Monday, this is what I'm doing. Whether I feel like it or not, Monday is production, you know. Tuesday is admin. And I would rather just sit in front of the laptop, but I'm there. And then eventually after like 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, now I'm working. I don't feel like it. I'm not motivated. It's not nice, but I'm there. So I think just being there and having a structure, it helps a lot, because then I don't have to wake up on a Wednesday. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't feel like it, but I'm there doing it.
Oh, I'm actually really glad you asked that question. I needed to hear that. Thank you. It's really not easy, but I think we're moving into such an exciting time. And the transformation that we're seeing on the continent, we actually really want to support our own brands.
Yes.
We believe in our own brands. So I think the timing in which you have come into this industry, especially when it comes to holistic well-being, is the perfect time, and we're going to support you.
Yay!
We are so going to support you.
Thank you.
Not just as a show, but just as the African continent.
Yes,
we
please.
are ready for this type of products, and there are expositions. There are people that are just ready and waiting for this kind of product. Gillian, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you and to get to know about your products. Very quickly, do you have a website or social media where we can have a look and feel of the product?
Yes, so we've got our website at www.gilliesnatural.co.za, and then on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's Gillies Natural.
Amazing. Gillian, thank you so much for your time. Gillian Nyakane, founder of Gillies Natural. It's 31 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Let's kick off with football news. Diego Simeone says his Atletico Madrid players are ready to respond as they prepare to face PSV Eindhoven at the Philips Stadion in the UEFA Champions League tonight. Speaking after Monday's training session, Simeone says the mood in the camp is focused despite back-to-back defeats to Barcelona and Athletic Club. On the challenge of playing away, he says strength is starting games well is key, especially when they are playing away from home. Atletico have lost their last 3 Champions League away matches. Another defeat would equal their worst ever run in the competition. However, they are unbeaten against Dutch teams in the Champions League this century and have never lost to PSV in 6 previous meetings. Every match at the 2026 FIFA World Cup will have 3-minute hydration breaks in each half. FIFA said the measure is being introduced to prioritize player welfare and will happen in matches regardless of the weather conditions to ensure equal conditions for all teams in all matches. The referee will stop the game 22 minutes into each half to allow players to rehydrate. On to rugby news. The Lions are still incredibly bothered by their loss to Benetton last Saturday in the European Challenge Cup. The Joburg side has travelled to England to face the Newcastle Red Bulls in the second week of the same tournament this coming Saturday. The team is determined to not let the last week's loss derail their hard-won games. Assistant coach Barren Pieterse wants the travelling squad to play Lions brand rugby and get the win.
Look, we need a win, especially after this weekend. So we're going to go there for a win. And like I said, if these youngsters can stand up and bring the energy and go showcase how we actually wanted to play this past weekend, that will be very nice.
The Lions were in control of the match against Benetton until around the hour mark, but in the last 10 minutes, it was long gone for all to see. It's a result that has angered the squad at large, and as flanker Jarrod Keynes says, it sent them on their way to Newcastle with a bit of fire in their bellies.
As a group, as a player group that is heading over, we're very fired up. We want to go there. There's the guys that want to go there and prove that they do deserve their opportunity in that. But we're going as a collective. We're going over, and we just want to go and get the good result there. Especially after the loss on the weekend, we looked at each other in the change room in the eyes, and we said that we'd never want to feel like that again. So we're going over there with a bit of fire in us.
And finally, tennis news. Carlos Alcaraz returns from injury but loses to Francis Tiafoe in exhibition comeback. Alcaraz suffered a 6-3, 3-6, 10-7 defeat to Tiafoe in New Jersey, making his first match since missing the Davis Cup finals due to injury. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
Madapiri Bazoshitika. Madapiri Bazoshitika.
Inogeka zingeni chihana lumbiritsidwa kukhala wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko la Malawi pa mwambo omwe unachitika ku nyumba ya chifumu ya Sanjika mu mzinda wa Blantyre. Ndipo pano tili ndi olemekezeka achihana. Takulandirani olemekezeka pano pa wireless ya Channel Africa pa Chinyanja Service. Amalawi ayembekezere zotani kuchokera kwa inu ngati wachiwiri winaso kwa president wa dziko.
Choyamba ngati vice president umagwira ntchito yopatsidwa ndi president imene yakuganizira. Ndiye malowozi athu atipatsa bwinobwino, koma ntchito yathu yayikulu ndi kuwathandiza president kuti masomphenya awo yakwanitsidwe. Pali zambiri zoti zichitike, nkhani ya njala mdziko muno, boma la udakali chimanga ndi china chomwe chili mdziko muno kuti tithandize families are affected. Chachiwiri kunali ma fuel shortages amene akanaliponso apo ndi apo tionetsetse kuti pumps athu asakhale dry.
Zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo. Lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi Madapiri.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest business news now and find out how the markets are moving.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In our top story, Ethiopia has accused Egypt of escalating tensions in their long-standing Nile River dispute. This follows Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati's remarks that negotiations have stalled and that Egypt is prepared to defend its water rights. The tensions arise shortly after Ethiopia inaugurated the Grand Renaissance Dam, Africa's largest hydro dam, intended to harness the Nile's resources for electricity supply to Ethiopia and neighboring countries. CEO of the Africa Center for Diplomatic Affairs, Gordon Kachola.
So this clearly indicates that Ethiopia is not willing to stop and cannot stop where they have reached so far. And one thing Egypt must realize that some of the Anglo-African agreements that were made back then in the 50s, in the 40s, 30s to 60s and 70s cannot actually cannot hold water today. Things have changed, and the only thing that Egypt must realize that there are more population upstream that needs this water.
Nigeria's central bank has granted final licenses to 82 exchange bureaus under revised guidelines. The move took effect late last month following a sweeping crackdown that saw 4,173 licenses revoked for regulatory breaches. Last year, the central bank outlawed street trading of foreign exchange and raised minimum capital levels for exchange bureaus to at least $1.38 million under new guidelines aimed at tightening oversight and curbing illicit forex practices after years of market distortions and dollar shortages. South Africa and Australia have announced a new direct flight route between Johannesburg and Perth, aiming to enhance tourism and trade relations. Government officials highlight that increased seat capacity will promote tourism growth, attract new investments, and strengthen connections between the regions. This announcement was made during a joint briefing involving Qantas, South African Tourism, and the Gauteng Tourism Authority in Johannesburg. South Africa's Minister of Tourism, Patricia de Lille.
Increased air connectivity is fundamental to unlock tourism growth and investment. Today's announcement directly aligns with one of the 5 pillars of the Tourism Growth Partnership strategy and plan, and that's ease of access. This includes air routes, visas, and removing the hurdles that can make South Africa a destination of choice for business and leisure.
The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, NUMSA, is expected to picket outside the Industrial Development Corporation offices in Sandton, Johannesburg. The labour union says it's demanding the urgent intervention in the ongoing crisis at SA Steel Mills and to address issues at steel producer company ArcelorMittal South Africa. NUMSA spokesperson Phakamile Hlobi-Majola.
This marks our third protest at IDC over SA Steel Mills as workers continue to suffer under a months-long business rescue process that has failed so far to deliver results. NUMSA is deeply concerned that the IDC-appointed business rescue practitioners are biased in favor of Alfeco, a bidder whose track record shows collapsed production and deteriorated labor relations. Alfeco's so-called revival plan stretches over 5 years with no guarantee of sustainability.
President Donald Trump has announced a $12 billion aid package for American farmers affected by low crop prices and his own trade policies. Most of the money is earmarked for one-time payments to farmers of row crops like corn and soybeans. Sorghum and soybean growers have been hit hard by the Trump administration's trade dispute with China. The BBC's David Willis has the details.
This is a community that, of course, generally supports Donald Trump, whose backing helped him secure a second term in the White House, yet his trade policies have hurt them, and the president launched a trade war with China in the spring, of course. The tariffs he imposed on exports to the United States have cost the agricultural community here billions of dollars, it's estimated, in lost sales at a time when that community is also having to deal with the rising price of such things as fertilizers and tractors and so on.
And now taking a look at the indicators, one US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,449 naira this afternoon. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 15. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 55. And in Zambia, it's at 23 kwacha 10. Moving to the BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rial 43. In Russia, it's 76 rubles 39. India, 90 rupees and 8. China 7 yuan 6, and South Africa $1 is trading at 16 rand 97 cents this afternoon. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $4,204 per ounce, platinum at $1,649 per ounce, while Brent crude oil is at $62.60 a barrel. And that's the business news. For any stories you'd like to share with us, please do send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or give us a call on +27 11 714 4459. For the Channel Africa Business Desk, I am Buntle Headbush.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
Annie Kalonji sur Channel Africa.
Comment est-ce que les militants et sympathisants du parti Les Transformateurs ont-ils réagi face à la condamnation de Succès Masra?
La condamnation de Succès Masra ne nous a pas surpris et les militants transformateurs ont été bouleversés et indignés étant donné que le verdict est un verdict lourd, illégal, injuste et donc face à la répression dans laquelle le peuple tchadien est confronté, les militants transformateurs se sont résignés de ne pouvoir pas sortir manifester. Et donc, c'est une situation totalement absurde pour un pays. Et aujourd'hui, nous célébrons le 11 août, fête de l'indépendance. On pensait que le verdict allait être plus ou moins clément, mais le verdict est sévère.
Annie Kalonji, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
So easy.
Hey, no, not today. 11 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. The name of the song is Sade. You've got Rotimi on that. You've got Maya Kun on that. You've got Nasty C on that. What a banger to lead us to our vent o'clock. Yesterday, Mmatsheko Mosito didn't get a chance to vent. He was very upset about it.
No, I actually had nothing to vent about.
Oh yeah. Yesterday we decided that we're going to be full of gratitude.
I had absolutely nothing to vent about, to be honest with you. I was just wondering what happened to venting. But I I might have something to vent about today.
All right. What do you want to get off your chest? Let us know on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Alternatively, send us a voice note. Our WhatsApp line is +27 63 406 9126. What do you want to get off your chest? Vent O'Clock is coming up next.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki wao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanapenda kuhubiria muziki ya zamani, hizo muziki ya wengine ambao ni taimbo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudia mara mbili studio, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aizani, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuta kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. This is indeed The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us live where we are streaming on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And do us a favor, download that brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. It's time to get a few things off our chest. It's time for Vent O'Clock. So, here's what I want to vent about today.
Tell us.
Dry begging. Have you heard the concept before?
Term I have never. I was today years old.
Dry begging is a term used to describe indirectly asking for help, money, gifts, or favors without actually saying it outright. You know those people who are like, Mmatsheko, man, hey, petrol. I don't have petrol. Hey, I don't know how I'm going to get to work today. Hey, Mmatsheko, hey, my salary is going to be affected today.
Dry begging. Oh, man.
That's dry begging.
What a term.
Ask directly. Don't dry beg. Don't go around, especially with me. Say exactly what you need so I can help you. This thing of going around corners and then assuming, oh, he will catch the hint. Oftentimes, my mind is busy doing other funny things. If you're not direct with me, I'm going to miss it, and it's not intentional. I'm just like, tell me exactly what you need. Just ask. What do you need? Don't dry beg. Don't do a vague, hey, my petrol. My electricity today. I've got like only 2 units. I don't know how I'm going to get through the rest of the month. Hey, Pratebs, man, you know these times. Tell me what you want, and I can then
you have
decide.
500 rand for me because I need to buy petrol.
You see right there, Mmatsheko.
Like,
100%.
Very easy.
When you ask like that, then I can say no. Very simple. Right?
And then I know that it's a no.
100%. If I can, obviously I'll help you.
Yes.
Otherwise, if I can't, I'm going to say no. But don't go around the corner. Have you ever dealt with someone who dry begs?
Listen, I just simply ignore you. If you dry beg or you are passive aggressive, I just simply ignore you because nobody's got time for that. And I think it's so funny that I think this is the 3rd time this week where our veins kind of like fall into one another, because mine also is basically about communication.
Okay.
Why do we struggle so much? Just ask. And I think it's about shame. Don't you think it's about the shame of, if I ask, I'm going to be perceived a certain way. Tebogo's going to think I don't have money, or like I remember asking for, I think it was like 5 rand, like really just a small amount, or at least to me, it was a very small amount. Yeah. And I was made to feel like, what's your man going to think about you asking me for money? I'm just like, dude, it's just $5, you know? I mean, I'll give it to you tomorrow. Yeah. It really is not that big a deal. Yeah. But people attach so much shame to asking for help. That's why it's become such a thing to and you know, people are putting it literally on billboards, ask for help, because we think that it makes us look vulnerable and weak when we ask for help, where actually that's strength, because at the end of the day, now I got petrol to get on with my life. Do you understand? There's power in that. So we really just got to shift the way we think about asking for help. You know, whatever help looks like, whether you need somebody to help you babysit, you need somebody to listen, you need somebody to give you money. You know, let's not attach shame to that, and let's not make people feel bad for asking. If you can help, great. If you can't, communicate that, and we keep it moving.
I think it starts from a very young age, doesn't it? It's a muscle that hasn't been exercised enough, the ability to ask. Because back then, when you were a child, you sort of understood the situation at home, that money doesn't grow on trees. That was one of my dad's favorite lines. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Our parents love that,
right? And so asking for anything sort of felt like, you're asking beyond what they can give. And so you never really got to ask. And so that muscle you hardly exercised. So now you're an adult. And now you find yourself in situations. I wonder how many situations, hardships we could have avoided had we just asked. How many people could have just actually been kept off the street had they just asked, swallowed their pride, tail between their legs, and said, I need help. Can you help me? I wonder
but
how
that
many...
word you used, hey?
Which one?
Pride.
Pride. That's a big one. We all walk around with that, and that's the reason why we can't be helped, and we end up getting in the most the weirdest, darkest situations that all could have been avoided. There are people who are in debt right now because they couldn't ask for, can I have 10,000 rand, even if it doesn't come from one person? Can we come together as a family, 10,000? No, they went to a bank. Now they're spending the next 5-10 years trying to pay off that 10,000 rand because they couldn't swallow their pride and go to friends and family and ask for help. Swallow that pride.
It's a problem.
Swallow that pride, please. And don't dry beg. I think that's,
dry begging. Oh, now I learned something new today. Don't dry beg. Maybe that's what I'm going to say next time somebody's trying to ask for something. Gadi konas. So just ask. Do you want to ask me something? I'm right here.
On Zaman, straight. What do you want? What do you want? Anyway, it's minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. Don't go anywhere. We'll then get into our second hour, the golden hour, because we've got...
Can I vent?
Which? I thought your vent was the communication thing.
Yes, but I want to emphasize on it.
Please add. We're adding an extra 3 minutes.
I want to add to that because I actually think communication is a problem in society. Generally, we just do not know how to communicate. Like, what is the problem? Perhaps the problem is that we need to integrate communication skills into our curriculum. Because that's one part of, not being able to communicate. Not being able to communicate your needs is a problem. Not being able to communicate with your bank that you can no longer afford the installment is a problem. Not being able to speak confidently in front of a group of people is a problem. If you can't do it as a child, it becomes a hindrance in your grown-up years when you need to do business deals and sign very important documents. We need to learn how to communicate with one another. Don't be passive-aggressive and skin it in the corners, and then you can't face the person and tell them what the heck your problem is. Don't dry beg. Okay, none of this stuff around basic communication is sexy. Curriculum integration would incorporate being able to teach children how to communicate confidently in front of a class. Active listening and empathy exercises, very important. Conflict resolution, negotiation, all of that is very, very important. And we need to recommend some books, okay? So that we can read up on how to, and teach yourself, have a personal curriculum for yourself on how you can communicate. I'm going to recommend one, not too many, because and you as the upsider are welcome to suggest some titles so that we can learn how to communicate. Nonviolent Communication by Marshall B. Rosenberg is a really good one. And it's a classic. It teaches us how to express needs honestly, how to listen with clarity, and how to break patterns of defensive or avoidant communication, where I communicate something to you and then 2 minutes, you've shut down, you've blocked me on Instagram, weird things like that. Let's just learn how to communicate like grown-ups, and let's teach the children how to do the same, because they're people too. They're not going to be people in 20 years. They are people now. 100%. And they need to be taught how to communicate.
100%. If you're listening from Mauritania and you're wondering what is Skinner means gossip. A book
Did I use that word?
A book that I would recommend.
Oh my goodness.
A book that I would recommend would have to be The Greatest Salesman in the World by O.G. Mandino.
Right.
I think I'll unpack as to why in this hour. It's 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
Well, welcome to the second hour, the golden hour of The Upside. Before we get into our festivities of the hour, let's get the latest news. Onelin Sinsi is standing by.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Looking at your top stories, states in Africa's Sahel region accuse Nigeria of violating their airspace, and fighting intensified in border regions of Cambodia. Fighting intensified in border regions of Cambodia and Thailand. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. States in Africa's Sahel region are accusing Nigeria of violating their airspace, saying one of its military transport planes landed yesterday in Burkina Faso without clearance. Nigeria says its C-130 transport plane made a precautionary landing in Burkina Faso when the crew detected a technical issue after takeoff from commercial hub Lagos en route to Portugal. The accusation highlighted rising tension between the Confederation of the Sahel States, a bloc formed by Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger. This after breaking with regional body ECOWAS and ECOWAS member Nigeria, which is West Africa's largest military power. The AES says its air defense were on maximum alert and authorized to neutralize any aircraft that's violating its airspace. Security forces have been heavily deployed across Tanzania as activists and the opposition called for anti-government protests. The government says the planned protests would be unlawful and amount to an attempted coup. Today also marks the anniversary of Tanzania's independence from Britain. Michael Baleke reports.
By and large, people have listened. Many households took the government's message seriously. Some even stocked up on food in case things become unstable. The authorities say that the stay-home order is meant to keep everyone safe and to prevent a repeat of the events of the October 29th election day. And at the moment, the streets are almost deserted. The Ministry of Home Affairs was very clear. People should stay indoors and only step out for emergencies. So the usual hustle and bustle is gone. Shops are closed and neighborhoods are unusually quiet. And just to emphasize, I'm reporting this from Uganda because journalists inside the country have been ordered not to cover or even discuss the planned demonstrations.
2 senior military officials abducted during Sunday's failed coup attempt in Benin have been freed. The chief of army staff and the head of the National Guard were rescued in an intelligence-led operation in the central city of Chiriu. Security forces are still searching for the coup leader and other plotters. The BBC's Richard Kago reports.
The 2 senior Benin army officers were among several officials detained during the brief but tense uprising by a group of soldiers in the capital, Cotonou. The search is still underway for the coup leader, Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri, and other fugitive officers. Benin had earlier requested urgent assistance from neighboring Nigeria, which said it launched military strikes and deployed troops to help secure the capital. A West African regional standby force is now on the ground, guarding key installations as authorities work to restore calm.
An investigation has found that at least 1,700 civilians have been killed in airstrikes by Sudan's armed forces since the start of the civil war. A study by the Sudan Witness Project found warplanes had launched over 300 bombings of residential neighborhoods, markets, schools, camps for displaced people. Mark Snook, who ran the project, explains the significance of these findings.
Our investigation and the data set we have indicates that the Sudanese armed forces have used unguided munitions in populated areas. And these patterns strongly suggest that the Sudanese armed forces isn't doing enough to avoid civilian casualties. And it also raises the question about how deliberate these strikes are. It also shows the continued degradation of basic services and infrastructure.
Lastly, fighting has intensified in border regions of Cambodia and Thailand as the two sides show no sign of backing down since the breakdown of a ceasefire on Sunday. The Thai military said there were clashes in 5 border provinces and 3 of its soldiers had been killed since hostilities resumed. Cambodia says Thai attacks have killed 7 civilians. The BBC's Mikey Bristow.
The fact that fighting has flared up again is not really surprising. Essentially, the underlying problem about this is a border conflict, an unresolved border, a dispute between the two countries. It goes back a century now, and over that time, conflict, fighting has broken out at various points. That fundamental point hasn't been resolved, so of course, the conflict is always likely to break up at any given point.
Now, recapping on your top story, states in Africa's Sahel region are accusing Nigeria of violating their airspace, saying one of its military transport planes landed in Burkina Faso on Monday without clearance. The accusation highlights rising tension between the Confederation of Sahel States, a bloc that was formed by Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Channel Africa News, I'm Oneli Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
It's gone 7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the golden hour of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko, Mosito. We're still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us on our social media platforms where we are streaming live, and you can see our lovely studio, our amazing guests, at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And do us a favor, download our brand new Channel Africa app so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. Where are you streaming us from this afternoon? Our WhatsApp line, +27 63 406 9126. We've got a very special guest coming up in this hour, one of Mmatsheko Mosito's favorite human beings. And I can't wait to find out what he's going to be chatting to us about. Mmatsheko Mosito.
Well, you clearly can read minds, because that's exactly what I was going to say. My favorite human, Lelo Mzaka, is going to be joining us in studio. I mean, that name, if you are tuning in from South Africa, is synonymous with sportscasting, right? Yep. He is brilliant when it comes to sport, and I don't know how he does it, but he's so talented at being able to remain objective in his bulletins, because, you know, sports is a very emotional subject. Very emotional. Yeah. But he's just brilliant at that journalism work. Lelo Mzaka joining us in studio this time around. We're going to be talking about his other passion project, that is film. He has been an avid film connoisseur and consumer of film since he was a child, and guess what? He's now turned that passion into a book titled Action, a celebration of South African cinema. This is a book that explores 40 South African films that have shaped conversation at home and abroad, from the classics that still resonate and hold bold, inventive ways of how we think to most recent works. So he's watched a lot of films, okay? And he's going to tell us about some of them. And I picked up a few in the book that I really love. I'm not a big film person.
Okay.
But the fact that they were in the book, I was like, yes, it means I watched a meaningful film.
Which ones are these ones?
Drum is one of them.
Okay.
Featuring Tay Diggs.
Okay.
That's one of them. So, and Matwetwe is another one. By Kagisoli Dikga. Yeah, there's so many others. We don't want to give too much away because we want you to tune in. If you are an avid lover of storytelling through film, you're going to enjoy this conversation. And if you're tuning in from Ghana or Nigeria or other parts of the continent and want to learn about how we think and perceive film in South Africa, this conversation is for you too.
All right. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. In fact, share with us some of your favorite South African films over the years. +27 63 406 9126.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
There's a Ugandan lawmaker. His name is Atkins Katusabe, who speaks with an American accent in Parliament. So the parliamentarians have complained that we don't understand what you are saying.
Listen to him. Come on.
Mr. Speaker, I think this is a disaster that could cause an extinction of our entire community. Going to procedure?
Mr. Speaker, the English that is trying to put this matter here is confusing a number of us and making us miss very serious issue. It needs to speak the common English of Uganda. The English is too much.
Need a piece of paper so that we'll be able to read. The English is too much. I picture him saying order, out of order.
Saturday and Sunday mornings belong to the Morning Switch. 3 to 6 a.m. Central African Time.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge aka Binal Export depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager votre point de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here.
For my mind, you see, no be money. Focus with me, the vitamin C. Oh, as you can see, something will not there for me. If you don't say that you're for me, it's no guarantee. I know if you say you bring my party. For my money, all the time, I won't gonna. For my balance, you know straight, my car, you too, can I enter small yawa? For your mother, you the only, you want the go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. You want the go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Baby, my money make a boss more. Stop at the long talk, I know they will run me. I want some malaga with my day ones, my day ones. And let my enemies shame me go. Now I me, I know the rest I always say walk out. If I say all lazy go, I go big money before I begin my big call. Cause it is stop nonsense. You dey hate on me out market. If I form or make I bend. Say you get fake dress, but you won't give me advice about patience. Are you making sense? Can't fit before I change my color. I dey talk, you dey talk, shut up. Me baby, with it, I know be ball she be with mama, ever I'm fed up.
It's 15 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. BNXN featuring Rema there. Fikan We Can. I tell you what, when I first heard that song, Mmatsheko, I was on a date. Can I say it? Okay, I was on a
Just say it. Communicate. I'm
I
joking.
was on a date, right?
Mm.
And suffice to say, I was trying to be, manly man, open doors for people.
Mm.
And as I was closing the door, I slammed it on my fingers. And that was not the most. And that song was blasting in my car when that all happened. So I have a personal attachment to that song. It's a love and hate because it's a good song.
There's memories.
But memories attached to it, not the best. Anyway, let's get into our conversation with our special guest who joins us in studio.
Absolutely. South African journalist and film lover Lelo Mzaka is shining a new light on the country's cinematic legacy with the release of his book, Action, a celebration of South African cinema. This is a book that explores 40 films that have shaped conversations at home and abroad. So we're going to talk about storytelling. And also, I think what's so beautiful about the fact that he's written about South African film is his reviews and his view on storytelling in South Africa. So Lelo Mzaka reflects on the moment where film challenges history, reframes identity, and pushes audiences to confront the world around them. And guess what? He is live in studio.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Channel Africa.
Oh man, it's such a pleasure. It is such a blessing.
Yes.
I feel very, very, very honored to be here. I really, really, really do, guys. And Mmatsheko, I mean, you and I, we've worked together for so many years on The Collective, on Radio 2000. And here I am sitting right in front of you yet again. And it's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Indeed, we've got a great history, and I know how much you love film. And a lot of people know your name for sports.
Yes.
Sportscasting as it's known, and the work that you do there and your passion for football and other sporting codes. But let's talk about the film journey. Because 40 films that's a lot of films.
And these are just South African ones.
I wanted to say that. I wanted to say a lot of films didn't make it into the book.
Yes.
Because you have watched a lot of. Where did that passion come from? The film side of things.
Okay, so with film, I grew up in a household where we really loved films, right? I remember my uncle, Babumngani Wandi, he had a VHS, a cassette. And then he'd okay, no, boys, there you go.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is that on weekends, it would be like a Saturday and stuff. Then, because I'm from Sebokeng, Zone 6, Extension 1. Then on weekends, oh yeah. And then on weekends, then would go to town in Vanderbijl Park, and then there'd be a shop that actually where you can hire out cassettes.
Yeah.
And then my parents would hire out cassettes and stuff, and then would watch the stuff and what have you. And then that's really, really, that's where the love started coming from. I think I was like 6 years old and stuff. There was the movies that I watched, like Leon Schuster, You Must Be Joking, The Gods Must Be Crazy, and that kind of stuff. And I really, really started loving films and watching them till late in the night with my elder brother and sometimes even with my parents as well. So that's where the love really, really grew. So film is something that I never stopped loving. Also, I used to attend quite a lot of cinemas, especially the Stir Kinnico in Carlton Centre, Johannesburg. And I'd watch quite a lot of films. I've watched many local films there. I've watched many international films there. And it's just one of those things. And we used to also, with the VCR, unlike today, where if they take the thing off, like let's say if you're watching your Netflix and what have you, when they take the thing off, you're not going to see that film ever again. Or you're going to have to stream it and stuff. But with the VCR, you can actually record the films yourself. So that's what we used to do. Like, okay, so I was going to go to 8. Press that record button. So yes, that's where the love actually really came from.
You didn't sell those, right? You were just consuming it for your own...
Yeah, no, I don't believe
private use.
I don't believe in piracy. Hence, I don't believe in piracy. So we never did that. We never did that.
We're currently in conversation with journalist, storyteller, sportcaster, film enthusiast, Lelo Mzaka. And he's here to tell us about his brand new book. It's called Action, a celebration of South African cinema, highlighting 40 films that shaped national conversations. And we'll be unpacking some of those films right after this. It's 20 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time.
Conversations are happening, and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership@channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's 21 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome back to The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. We are still hanging out with the one and only Mr. Lelo Mzaka.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yes, ask it.
All right. So in terms of South African movies that you know and love, which one are those? Let's say maybe just give me one each.
I will give you one because very recent. I rewatched it like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. It's going to have to be Sweet and Short from Leon Schuster.
Sweet and Short. So Sweet and Short, I've written about it out in this book as well. Yes. Sweet and Short, it's at page number 151. It's the 30th. Okay. It's the 30th chapter. Mmatsheko?
For me, it would have to be Drum, hey?
Drum is chapter 8. It's in page 39 in the book. So I've written about those as well.
Yes.
And we're going to unpack exactly what you wrote about it. The review that you gave of the book, maybe some insights or behind the scenes that we were not even privy to, some themes that were not aware of when we were watching. We can't wait to unpack that. But I want to play a quick game of chance with you, Mr. Len.
Cool, no problem.
I want to see if the odds are indeed in your favor. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to play 3 rounds, and all I'm going to ask you to do is predict.
Yeah, 3 rounds. That's quite a lot of rounds for a 40-year-old like myself.
Oh, wow. Listen, I've got to mention, moving swiftly along from that, I've got to mention Kelly Kuman is currently the reigning champion of this. So let's see where your intuition sits.
She got 2 rounds.
She got 2 rounds. Yeah. That's cool. I was emceeing her show 2 weekends ago.
Actually,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, out at Hard Rock Cafe in Nelson Mandela Square Center.
All right. Round number 1.
Right.
Black or red?
Red.
Lelo.
That was quick.
Red. Show the camera your card. Is it red?
It's red.
It's red. I love that. All right. That was 1 for 1. 2 more rounds to go.
Right.
40 movies. And you were specifically asking us about our favorites.
Yes.
What did you write about these films? What can we expect from the book?
Okay, what you can expect from the book is my perspective about me reviewing the movies. Right. Let me tell you where this journey really started. So when I was a first year student out in varsity, I decided to get on my bicycle and cycle to a place just down here out in Mill Park, where the Mail and Guardian newspaper was.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to the editor to say, look, man, I'd like to just do something in terms of, writing and reviewing movies because I love movies and theatre.
Athandwa
Kani, that's the guy.
Athandwa Kani, oh
Yes,
my goodness.
Athandwa Kani. And another gentleman, they were acting in a play at Wits Theatre called Waza Albert. And then, I just sat there. Then I started writing. I was new to this. I was very, very new. I was a 19-year-old. I was new to this. And then after that, I wrote the first draft, dumped it in the computer at Classic FM where I worked, which was like a stone throw away. Then the next morning, after thinking about it all night, then I can refine it the next morning. And then I presented it to the editor. And he was like, actually, this is brilliant. We'll print it in the Mail and Guardian and it will be in the newspaper on Friday.
Wow.
So I remember there's a friend of mine who went to the library downstairs. I'm like, hey, Chimbi, what's the one? And there's like, then you open up the newspaper and there I've got a byline at the age of 19 in the Mail and Guardian. So then that's when I was like, actually, I can do this thing. So with these movies, what I've done is that I actually reviewed them from my perspective and my experience about actually watching them and what they really mean to South Africans in terms of how people actually really received them. And that's what this book is about. It's to also just tell people all over the world about the fact that South Africa has got this very, very big filming industry, because there is Hollywood, there's Nollywood, there's Bollywood. And I don't think it is quite fair that the South African movie industry does not have its own name, whereas it has actually produced so much for the world.
Isn't it a Gollywood?
You could say Gollywood, but now that would be basically boxing into just Joburg.
Actually,
was it not Sollywood?
Yes,
Someone
yes.
said Sollywood once upon a time. I think they were just throwing words.
And a lot of actors and actresses from across the globe have visited our shores and acted in our movies. The likes of Denzel Washington in Cry Freedom. There is the guy in Drum, Tay Diggs in Drum, and a whole lot of others, Whoopi Goldberg and Sarafina. And then also South Africa has also given its actors and actresses to the world, And I was like, the thing about it is that there's something that needs to be physical that we can actually say to the world that, you know what, we've got a big movie industry here. We've got beautiful locations where people can actually shoot the movies. And the thing also that I've also written about in the movie, in chapter 41, is the rise of virtual production, where now movie makers, filmmakers don't actually have to go to a set to go shoot a film. They can actually do the film in a virtual studio, and you can recreate the set in a virtual set in that studio, and it would look like you're in the Grand Canyons in a radio studio and all sorts of locations. So it's making film more sustainable in terms of finances, but also it's just yet another level, because I always think about what is the next step when it comes to doing things, especially things such as film.
I love the way you're thinking about film and how we consume it and how it is created, and all the big themes come to in the book. But what are your reflections? Because the story catalog is quite vast. 40 films is a lot of films, and you move from comedy to love stories to political films. You make the example of Sarafina, which is also in the book. But let's talk about just how you are seeing the relevance of these movies, especially ones that were created in the early 1990s in South Africa, and their relevance to life today, and how we're reframing that story today.
One of the things that really gives me a lot of pleasure is that when I hand the book to someone and they look at the table of contents and then they page through it. They're like, oh my goodness, I watched this movie as a kid. I watched that movie. Oh my goodness. You get what I'm saying? And then just to, to let the audience know, like the movies I've written about is A Way of Life. It's about football. There's Amandla. It's a political movie. There's Brenda Fassie, Not a Bad Girl. There's also Catch a Fire, Cry Freedom, Cry the Beloved Country, District 9, Drum, Lollipop, God is African, Happiness of Holiday Word, Hijack Stories, Ruth Macy, How to Steal 2 Million, Inamba Invictus, Inleba, Inyaga Nyaga, in Ipintombi. There's also Ikiala Lamawele, Jerusalem, Jim Comes to Joburg, Jock of the Bushveld, Mapansula Matwete, Oh Shucks It's Shista, Sarafina Shagazulu, Soul Power. A lot of people, when it comes to Soul Power, they'll be like, but that's not a South African movie. It actually is, because it was co-produced by Brahima Sigela. And then there is also Sweet and Short, The Forgotten Kingdom, The Gods Must Be Crazy, The Line, there's a Zulu Mastoop Trompi, Tsotsi, Okamenekali Cha Yesterday, You Must Be Joking, and Zulu Love Letter. So the thing about these movies is that because of the love that I've got for movies, I watch different kind of type of movies, of genres of movies. And Mmatsheko, you'll know that when it comes to the music, we've worked in studio for many years. I'd listen to this, I'd listen to that. I'm like, I like this, I like that. And it would be like different genres as well. So it's that kind of stuff in terms of consuming a variety of things, depending, of course, on how I feel on the day and the mood that I'm in and that kind of stuff.
All right. It's 30 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We'll continue our conversation with Mr. Lelo after the break.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
We begin with football news. The Orlando Pirates playmaker Patrick Tito Maswanganyi says he never allowed himself to expect a Bafana Bafana call-up for this month's AFCON in Morocco. Maswanganyi featured in qualifiers for both AFCON and the FIFA World Cup and was included in Hugo Broos's preliminary 54-man squad. But the midfielder felt his chances of making the final cut were always slim. Maswanganyi admitted that he wasn't surprised when his name didn't appear in the final 25-man list.
I think I already knew I wasn't going to make it to the AFCON squad because I wasn't playing. I would get like few minutes to play. But I think when I was called up into the national teams, I had problems with like small injuries. And I think those kind of things, like, they do affect your mind and also like your position in the national team, because there's lots of players in the country that are really working hard and they are doing very well to be in that position. So for me, I didn't even think about it because I knew already I wasn't going to make it.
Diego Simeone says his Atletico Madrid players are ready to respond as they prepare to face PSV Eindhoven at the Philips Stadion in the UEFA Champions League tonight. Speaking after Monday's training session, Simeone says the mood in the camp is focused despite back-to-back defeats to Barcelona and Athletic Club. On the challenge of playing away, he says strength is starting games well is key, especially when they are playing away from home. Atletico have lost their last 3 Champions League away matches. Another defeat would equal their worst ever run in the competition. However, they are unbeaten against Dutch teams in the Champions League this century and have never lost to PSV in 6 previous meetings. On to rugby news. The Lions are still incredibly bothered by their loss to Benetton last Saturday in the European Challenge Cup. The Joburg side has travelled to England to face the Newcastle Red Bulls in the second week of the same tournament this coming Saturday. The team is determined not to let last week's loss derail their hard-won gains. The Lions are sending what they believe will be a hungry squad to Newcastle to face the rebranded Red Bulls in the second match of the Challenge Cup. That's an assistant coach, Baron Pieterse, wants the travelling squad to play Lions brand rugby and get the win.
Look, we need a win, especially after this weekend. So we're going to go there for a win. And like I said, if these youngsters can stand up and bring the energy and go showcase how we actually wanted to play this past weekend, that will be very nice.
The Lions were in control of the match against Benetton until around the hour mark. But in the last 10 minutes, it was long gone for all to see. It's a result that has angered the squad at large. And as flanker Gerald Kent says, it sent them on their way to Newcastle with a bit of fire in their bellies.
As a group, as a player group that is heading over, we're very fired up. We want to go there. There's the guys that want to go there and prove that they do deserve their opportunity in that. But we're going as a collective. We're going over and we just want to go and get the good result there. Especially after the loss on the weekend, we looked at each other in the change room in the eyes, and we said that we'd never want to feel like that again. So we're going over there with a bit of fire in us.
Let's end with tennis news. Carlos Alcaraz returns from injury but loses to Francis Tiafoe in exhibition comeback. Alcaraz suffered a 6-3, 3-6, 10-7 defeat to Tiafoe in New Jersey, marking his first match since missing the Davis Cup finals due to injury. The world number one had withdrawn from Spain's Davis Cup tie, citing a muscular edema, and watched as Italy, without Jannik Sinner, secured a 3-0 sweep to claim the title. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
36 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's find out how the markets are moving. Buntle Headbush is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo. Good afternoon. Our top story, Total Energies and Gulp have agreed to exchange stakes across 3 Namibian offshore licenses in a deal that places Total Energies as operator of the Mopani discovery and consolidates its leadership in Namibia's emerging offshore sector. The deal also expands Gulp's footprint in the Orange Basin and gives it exposure to the Venus development. Under the agreement, Total Energies will take a 40% operating interest in Petroleum Exploration License, or PEL 83, where Mopani was discovered earlier in 2025. In return, Gulp will receive a 10% stake in PEL 56, home to the Venus discovery, and a 9.39% interest in PEL 91. Total Energies already operates Venus, the largest confirmed find in Namibia to date. Nigeria's central bank has granted final licenses to 82 exchange bureaus under revised guidelines. The move took effect last month following a sweeping crackdown that saw 4,173 licenses revoked for regulatory breaches. Last year, the central bank outlawed street trading of foreign exchange and raised minimum capital levels for exchange bureaus to at least $1.38 million under new guidelines aimed at tightening oversight and curbing illicit forex practices after years of market distortions and dollar shortages. Deputy Minister of Small Business Development Jane Sithole says youth entrepreneurship programs are reaching thousands of young people across the country and creating opportunities for those from rural communities. She was speaking at the National Youth Entrepreneurship Awards ceremony in Johannesburg today. Young innovators were recognized at the event for their green, job-creating solutions that address climate and community challenges. Sithole says the reach and impact of the program shows the potential of youth-led innovation when properly supported.
This program has reached thousands of young people across 9 provinces,
making it one of the largest youth entrepreneurship pipelines in the country. And what inspires us most, as Honorable Singh said, is that most of these learners are mostly African from rural areas. If we are not inspired to do more, then we will never be inspired. This is really outstanding because you can see that hope is created where it was once lost. And for that, we thank Transmat.
The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, NUMSA, have staged a picket outside the Industrial Development Corporation offices in Sandton, Johannesburg today. The labour union was demanding the urgent intervention in the ongoing crisis at SA Steel Mills and to address issues at steel producer company ArcelorMittal South Africa. NUMSA members handed over a memorandum to a representative of the IDC. NUMSA spokesperson Phakamile Hlubimajole elaborates.
This marks our third protest at IDC over SA Steel Mills as workers continue to suffer under a months-long business rescue process that has failed so far to deliver results. NUMSA is deeply concerned that the IDC-appointed business rescue practitioners are biased in favor of Alfeco, a bidder whose track record shows collapsed production and deteriorated labor relations. Alfeco's so-called revival plan stretches over 5 years with no guarantee of sustainability.
President Donald Trump has announced a $12 billion aid package for American farmers affected by low crop prices and his own trade policies. Most of the money is earmarked for one-time payments to farmers of row crops like corn and soybeans. Sorghum and soybean growers have been hit hard by the Trump administration's trade dispute with China. The BBC's David Willis has the details.
This is a community that, of course, generally supports Donald Trump, whose backing helped him secure a second term in the White House, yet his trade policies have hurt them, and the president launched a trade war with China in the spring, of course. The tariffs he imposed on exports to the United States have cost the agricultural community here billions of dollars, it's estimated, in lost sales at a time when that community is also having to deal with the rising price of such things as fertilizers and tractors and so on.
And now taking a look at the indicators, $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,449 naira this afternoon. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 15. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 55. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 10. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rial 43. Russia, 76 rubles 39. In India, it's 90 rupees and 8. China, 716. And South Africa, $1 is trading at 16 rand 97 cents. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $4,204 per ounce, platinum at $1,649 per ounce, while Brent crude oil at $62.60 a barrel. And that's the business news. I'll be back with a final update in the next hour. For any stories you'd like to share with us, please do send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or give us a call on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Bontle Headbush.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vitu vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vya kupendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
Thank you for staying with us. We are still in the middle hour of the upside with Tebogo and Mmatsheko until 4 p.m. Our special guest, Mmatsheko, Lelo Mmatsheko. Well, that's his nickname, Mmatsheko. Lelo Mmatsheko is joining us in studio. He is a journalist, he's a broadcaster, but today he is speaking to us in his capacity as a film enthusiast, a film critic. He's written a wonderful book that every African person, regardless of whether you are in South Africa or not, that really tributes the work of South African film. It's titled Action, a Celebration of South African Cinema. And it is a book, as you've heard in the first segment, that explores 40 South African films that have shaped the conversation, whether it is in our social spaces, whether, we are talking about it in the classroom, whatever the case is. And speaking of that, actually, I think this book is actually a kind of anthology. It's the kind of book that can be used in academic spaces to reference the kind of stories that have shaped South Africa. So politics students could use it, I would imagine. Theatre students could use it, or anyone that is part of the grand umbrella of film. Did you think about that when you were writing the book, that this is going to outlive you?
Yes, first and foremost, I did think about the fact that this is going to outlive me, and it's going to tell my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren about, the type of mind that Ubaba Mpumelelo Mzaca was, right? I've been to AFDA, and I've spoken to them just a little bit, because they do like quite a lot of films as well, and they're just down the road from where we are sitting here at the SABC, the mighty SABC, and it can actually really educate and tell people about the history of South African films, and also putting together a film. Yes, you see the actors and actresses and stuff, but so much goes on behind the scenes. So many people actually get involved, from your makeup artists to wardrobe to the directors, the DOPs, the gaffers, you name it. Like, a lot of people actually really get into making films. Even right now we are being filmed, by the way. Opracha, we're sitting there, he's the one who's picking which scene to actually show on YouTube and stuff. So behind the scenes, a lot actually happens when it comes to films. So it is a kind of book that I also just decided to throw things in there to just tell the people actually what happens when it comes to creating films.
Where are we now, Lelo, in terms of our storytelling abilities, comparing it to the 1990s, 1970s, wherever? Where are we now in terms of how we tell our stories? Are we being authentic to what's happening on the ground as they were back then, in telling true stories that resonated with what's happening? Or have we moved away and sort of diluted the content that we are consuming now from a film point of view?
The thing is about South African storytelling is that a lot of our stories are actually quite authentic about things that are really happening. There's a lot of films that I've written about in there, like I Will Catch a Fire, Cry Freedom and stuff. And there was a lot of bravery in terms of telling those kind of stories. And I think we still do have that ability. But with a lot of filmmakers nowadays, I think they're being safe, so they'll gravitate towards fiction instead of telling true stories, right? But there's a film, Ingleba. That film, we almost did not see it, right? And the reason for that is because the traditional gatekeepers, they thought that to know what's going to happen with that film is that it's going to expose what happens in the mountains when the men actually go through the rite of passage, which is something that's quite guarded, right? No, guys, it really wasn't about that. Ingleba was basically a love story about a love triangle of 3 homosexual men. That's it. That is it. And I think it would have been a shame if we actually, as South Africans, didn't actually get to see that movie. And I'm glad that eventually, sanity prevailed and the movie was allowed to be shown. And then there was a movie, of course, The Lion, back in 1994, where there was, the actors, Abubabu Jeremfukeng, Vosugunene, Umam Grace, and what have you. They shot that 3-part movie. And then the country almost really went up in flames because there was this big battle between ANC and the IFP.
Yeah.
And then the actors and actresses, some of them had to go into hiding. Because of just they were fearing for their lives.
Yeah.
And what basically that movie was actually telling us, it was showing us how is it that one political party would have so many guns, to go attack another political party. And it was basically telling us that the guns were actually being peddled into the hostels by the police. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those type of movies and stuff. And that's the reason, I really, because I'd never watch a movie once. Me, I'm that guy who sits with the remote control and I'm going to rewind and rewind to understand good. And what's going on here? I mean, some of the movies, I've watched them so much, I can tell you the script from start to finish.
Oh, wow.
That's a really good call. I also used to love doing that as a child.
Yeah.
The one movie that made you really, really just cry, for whatever reason, just made you cry.
Lollipop.
Okay.
Lollipop.
Tell us why.
Okay, Lollipop. It was a story about this young boy, white boy, and a black boy. Right, the black boy was from Lesotho, and then there was a missionary there in Lesotho. Right, and these boys were very, very good friends. They were I think about 6-year-olds and stuff like that. So then they played one time with a tire of a tractor. So what would happen is that the young white boy was in the tire of the tractor, and then the black boy was pushing the tractor, right? And what happened, because Lesotho is full of mountains, then that tire ran away with this other with the little boy, and then he crashed into the stones and the hills and what have you. So now they had to fly him to Jan Smuts, which is now OR Tambo International Airport. And then from there, they need to fly him to the US. And then what happened is that now, this young Sotho boy, his friend is in the US, he's injured, he's in hospital. And then the community decided to say, good, let's put together money so that this young guy can actually go and see his friend in the United States, which they did. By means of Lesotho, that was made out of those gray blankets, those. Yeah. So then he got to the US. And then after that, he got lost. He got lost because he was not at the airport. There was a group of kids. Now he gets into this pack with the other kids and he's lost. Now he's in a bus. He doesn't know what's going on with these other kids. It's a school excursion. And then what happened is then the teacher's like, who are you and what are you wearing? Because of that gray suit. And then he can't speak English. And then what happens now, the teacher's like, driver, we've got one that's not ours here. And then when the bus stops, he runs out of the bus, then he just goes missing in the streets of New York. And then when he's there, now he's starting to get hungry. He goes to a burger place to get a burger because now he's hungry. So he gets there, he points to the gentleman who's busy flipping the burgers to say, this is what he wants. So the burger man makes him a burger. He puts the burger on the table. He starts biting it. And then when it's now time to pay, he takes out malud. Money from the currency. And the burger guy's like, what is this? Then now he sees that he's getting intimidated. Now he runs. The burger man chases him. Yeah, I still have that same emotion about that scene. He catches him, right? When he catches him, and then he shouts at him and he shakes him, and the boy just says, I'm
hungry.
Right? And the burger man is like, I know Sesotho. It was a guy from Zululand in South Africa who was working as a burger flipper in New York. How crazy?
That is Serendipitous.
Yeah, so when I saw that
Wow.
scene, I was like, oh my goodness. And I mean, another movie that really brings tears to my eyes, it's that scene of the movie between with Will Smith when he's in the toilet scene with his son.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
What's the name of that film? I watched that film with his little boy.
What, Yeah.
It was based on a true story.
Yeah.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
That's the name. So yes, so those are the movies for me that like really, really get me. Yeah.
I'm going to watch Lollipop now. I can't believe I didn't watch it.
No, you have to watch Lollipop. It's a very interesting movie. And then like they're there and they talk about family planning, and the people from Lesotho are like, no, but we want a big family. What are you talking about? What a big family? And then they give them contraceptives, and the Sotho man, he takes one of the contraceptive pills, he breaks it into dust and he starts sniffing it. It's like, no, it's not for men. This thing is for women.
I want to understand where your mindset is for the young people, the young audience who will be picking up this book.
Yeah.
And they'll now be reading about movies that maybe they have never seen before,
Yeah.
or their parents have told them, or they just forgot because they were way too young to remember.
The reason why I wrote about these 40 films is because these are not just films, these are classics, right? And classics never really get old.
Yeah.
These are classic movies, classic South African movies. And I want them to actually like really know, to say that, look, we as South Africans, we've had some brilliant movies.
Yeah.
And us as South Africans also have got movie stars from way back.
Yeah.
From way back. Like
Correct.
from way back.
Yeah.
And South African cinema is something that really should be celebrated. And those who are coming, they must actually also learn to grow this craft and believe that, you know what, South Africa actually, it does have the capacity and the ability
Yeah.
to make a lot of beautiful movies, for us to write our own stories and to put them out there in the world.
Game of Chance, round number 2.
Aha.
Are the odds
Halagasha.
in your favor? Lelo Mzaka. Round number 2. Black or red, sir?
Red.
All right, sticking to your guns. Let's see, is it indeed red? All right. We are 1 point away from being the king of a Game of Chance here on Channel Africa, the upside. It's very exciting to have Mr. Lelo on the show.
How can we get the book? Okay, now I've heard about the films, and the way you've spoken about these films is very intriguing. Whether, you know, you were born in 1940 like I was, and you've watched some of the films, or, you know, maybe you are 2K, but you've created so much interest in terms of the diversity of who we are through film. So where can we get the book? And I think reading it's going to be such a beautiful experience.
Oh, we can get the book from me. Basically, I can courier it to you from wherever to wherever you are.
Okay.
You can send me an email. It is MZACA, my surname, Mzaka.Mzaka. So it's M for mother, Z for Zulu, A for Apple, C for Charlie, A for Apple, .mzaca again, at yahoo.co.uk.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can actually get it from me for...
Ship anywhere around South Africa?
Around the world. Baba.
Around the world.
Yes.
Anywhere around the world.
Anywhere around the world,
I
yes.
love that. I love that. And then before we let you go, Lelo, round number 3. Let's wrap it up. Of a Game of Chance.
The way you follow your intuition.
I love that.
Powerful.
Black or red?
Black.
Could he be the first guest ever to get 3 out of 3 on our Game of Chance?
Black.
Black.
Wow.
It's red. Wow. Did you really feel black there, Lelo?
I thought, you know what, actually maybe black. Let's yeah.
What's next for you? Because this has to be, there must be a part 2, part 3, but what's next for you?
Okay.
Audiobook maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Audiobook. We've been talking off air, and I was like, maybe I should release an audio part of each chapter in the book. Probably maybe weekly, maybe monthly, and what have you.
Right.
A lot of people, when I tell them that I wrote a book, they're like, oh, so is it a sports book? And I'm like, it's a book about movies. They're like, huh? So, yes, I'm known quite a lot about sports. I mean, I've been doing sports journalism and sports broadcasting for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that I've written a rough draft of my sports book. So that's going to be the book that's going to follow
nice
this.
one.
Yes. it's going to be very interesting because I talk about different sports personalities, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Can't wait.
We want that exclusive.
As a sports lover.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. And let me tell you I'll give you a little snippet. Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
He was a great cyclist. Some might argue that he was a dirty cyclist because he did a lot of things behind the scenes that were quite compromising. And eventually, they stripped him of all of his Tour de France awards, right? One thing that people must know, Lance Armstrong, if it wasn't for him pushing for us, the general public who love cycling, because I love cycling, to access Tour de France grade bicycles, it was not going to happen.
That's an interesting fact.
Because the thing is, I don't know if you guys love Formula One.
A little bit, yeah.
You can't drive a Formula One car.
Yeah, no, I can't.
You're not going to have access to it.
I can't, yeah.
Whereas some of us who love cycling, we actually now have Tour de France grade bicycles.
Because of Lance.
Because of Lance. I've got one. It's a Piranello Dogma. I've got one.
Hey, that book is coming out soon. When? January next year? February?
No, January is a bit too soon. Let me sell enough copies of this one and then you'll see magic.
Lelo, where can we find you on the socials to keep up with your journey? We know you're on radio. Hey, you do many things.
It's Lelo. It's at Lelo Mzaka on Twitter.
Amazing.
At Lelo Mzaka. That's me. Yeah. Oh, and another thing, actually, I've actually shot a podcast. A sports podcast, but no episodes are out yet, and it's done 12 episodes.
Oh wow.
I tell you what, all the sports lovers right now are licking their lips. Go check out Action, a celebration of South African cinema. You can get it directly from Ulelo himself, Mzaka, at Mzaka.
Yeah, it's mzaka.mzaka.
Oh, Zata.
At yahoo.co.uk.
.co.uk.
Mzaka.mzaka at yahoo.co.uk.
Amazing, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Lelo Mzaka. It's 3 p.m. Central African time. Actually, it's 1 minute after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news. Onel Nsinsi is standing by.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories. The ICC has sentenced Janjaweed militia leader to 20 years in prison and calls for collaborative effort to end stigma and discrimination against people living with HIV and AIDS. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Judges at the International Criminal Court have sentenced a Janjaweed militia leader to 20 years in prison for atrocities committed in Sudan's Darfur region. Ali Muhammad Al-Abd al-Rahman, also known as Ali Kushabe, was convicted in October on 27 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity, including murder, torture, and orchestrating rape and other atrocities carried out by Janjaweed militias more than 20 years ago. In their sentencing judgment, judges rejected defense arguments that Abd al-Rahman had limited authority and expressed empathy for the victims. The trial chamber imposed a joint sentence of 20 years, a term that likely means the 76-year-old will die in prison. An investigation has found that at least 1,700 civilians have been killed in airstrikes by Sudan's armed forces since the start of the civil war. The study by the Sudan Witness Project found warplanes had launched over 300 bombings of residential neighborhoods, markets, schools and camps for displaced people. Mark Snook, who ran the project, explains the significance of these findings.
Our investigation and the data set we have indicates that the Sudanese armed forces have used unguided munitions in populated areas. And these patterns strongly suggest that the Sudanese armed forces isn't doing enough to avoid civilian casualties. And it also raises the question about how deliberate these strikes are. It also shows the continued degradation of basic services and infrastructure.
An estimated 200,000 people have fled their homes in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo in recent days. This is rebels' march on a strategic town just 2 days after Donald Trump hosted the Rwandan and Congolese leaders to proclaim peace. In a statement, the United Nations said at least 74 people had been killed, mostly civilians, and 83 admitted to hospital with wounds from escalating clashes in the area in recent days. Local officials and residents said the Rwandan-backed M23 group has been advancing towards the lakeside town of Uvira on the border with Burundi and battling with Congolese troops and local groups. Prior to the latest upsurge in fighting, the conflict had already displaced at least 1.2 million people. 2 senior military officials abducted during Sunday's failed coup attempt in Benin have been freed. The chief of army staff and the head of the National Guard were rescued in an intelligence-led operation in the central city of Chiriu. Security forces are still searching for the coup leader and other plotters, the BBC's Richard Kago reports.
The 2 senior Benin army officers were among several officials detained during the brief but tense uprising by a group of soldiers in the capital, Cotonou. The search is still underway for the coup leader, Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri, and other fugitive officers. Benin had earlier requested urgent assistance from neighboring Nigeria, which said it launched military strikes and deployed troops to help secure the capital. A West African regional standby force is now on the ground, guarding key installations as authorities work to restore calm.
And lastly, civil society researchers, advocacy groups and governments are calling for a collaborative effort to end stigma and discrimination against people living with HIV and AIDS. This emerged at the launch of the HIV Stigma Index 2.0 report in South Africa, Pretoria, today. The study compiled by the National Association of People Living with HIV and AIDS, the HSRC and the National AIDS Council captures the experiences of more than 5,000 participants across the country. Researchers said the findings mark a major step towards ending HIV as a public health threat. The report found persistent stigma to be a barrier to treatment and prevention, despite progress in reducing new infections. The HSRC's senior researcher, Dr. Mpomi Zungu, explains.
Our research has highlighted how stigma undermines access to HIV testing, treatment, psychological support, and ultimately how it affects the health, outcomes, and also well-being of the people living with HIV. So the index is a legacy, but it also incorporates the work that we have done over the years, using updated tools and methodologies, and reflects the current context while addressing the emerging challenges that we face.
Recapping, judges at the International Criminal Court have sentenced a Janjaweed militia leader to turn 20 years in prison for atrocities committed in Sudan's Darfur region. Ali Muhammad Al-Abd al-Rahman, also known as Ali Kushubi, was convicted in October on 27 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective. Time to stay informed, inspired, and connected to the ideas driving Africa forward. The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
8 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Can you believe it? We've entered the final hour of The Upside, the Tuesday edition of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African Perspective. With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mmatsheko Mosito. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok is where we are streaming live to see our lovely studio, our amazing guests. And as always, you can download our Channel Africa Africa app. It's a brand new app, so you can take us with you wherever you go on your Android or your iOS device. A fun conversation coming up next, a cultural conversation about Indians in South Africa. Tell me more.
I think it's going to be a fascinating conversation, considering the fact that this film was shot mainly in Durban. Oh, okay, sir.
Yes, no, I'm getting distracted.
Mainly in Durban, and certain parts of it was shot in New York.
Oh, amazing.
And Durban, as a city in the KwaZulu-Natal province in South Africa, has a lot of Indian community, a very big Indian community. Zulu community of the Nguni people, and a lot of Indian community live there. So it's going to be fascinating. The Cane Cutter is what we're talking about. Recently released, we're talking last month, and it follows Dev, who is a young law student who sets aside his studies to uncover his grandfather's life as an as a laborer. So it's quite a story. I mean, we're talking to Lelo Mzaka about films, and this one sounds like a very good quality South African film. And one day, a new Lelo Mzaka is going to write about this one. I can tell you that for sure. Really good quality storytelling. We're going to talk about that film.
Absolutely. It's the love story for me that goes back generations. It's like there was a love story that started between two different families. Then generations later, they find each other, and then they continue that love story. I can't wait. It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the Upside.
Well, thanks to Una Rams, he has clearly given us a dance floor filler for December of 2025. I really like you. I really, really like you. You kind of have to sing the title, otherwise it just simply doesn't work. Welcome to the Upside. Thank you for being here. We're in the grand finale of the Tuesday edition.
Absolutely, and we're talking all things film now. South Africa's layered history steps into the spotlight through a new intergenerational love story that's capturing hearts across the country. The Cane Cutter, released last month, follows Dev, a young law student who pauses his future to uncover his grandfather's past as an indentured laborer. Along the way, he meets Amisha, a doctor rebuilding her life after loss. What begins as two separate journeys becomes one shared discovery when the pair learn that their great-grandparents first crossed paths abroad. The last indenture ship to Natal more than a century ago. That connection formed under hardship resurfaces generations later, reminding us how history continues to shape the present. The Cane Cutter stands as both a tribute and a conversation about identity, memory, migration, and the power of love to pull generations back into dialogue with each other. Joining us to unpack this beautiful work is the lead actor and filmmaker, Razin Dada. Razin, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Definitely feeling the upside today. And greetings to everybody, greetings to the listeners. It's great to be here, and thank you for having me.
I love it. You are the lead actor on this film. You play the role of Dev. But let's talk about what drew you personally to the story of the Cane Cutter.
So when I first received the script of the Cane Cutter, I mean, it's a fantastic script. It's an authentic story. And it's a proudly South African story, and I think it touches on many different themes. One of them is being heritage. So it's a massive tribute to the heritage and also to the contribution of modern day society. It's also spreads the theme of perseverance. As many South Africans are, I think we persevere and we push on, and nothing is impossible if you truly believe. And that's a key thing that drew me to the script, and also the message to the youth: your future is yours to write.
Absolutely. I'm really interested in this wonderful character, Dev, a young law student. He sets aside his studies to go and uncover his grandfather's life as an indentured laborer. Please talk to us about this young man, and also just how you were able to kind of immerse yourself in his life to tell the story authentically.
So it's a young man who's extremely passionate. I mean, it also shows his struggle, as many filmmakers do, to basically get funding in order to tell the stories that they want to tell. And so he drops out of law school. Both his parents are serving in high-profile positions. His mother serves at the United Nations, and his father serves in the presidency in the presidency. So he wants to grab their attention. There's a lot of youth that are left alone pretty much, and he has to, try and grab their attention somehow. But also, he made a great promise to his great-grandfather, and he wants to tell the story. And this story documents, the first arrival of Indians, why the British brought Indians to the country. And, sometimes we feel like we're always in the middle. You're never white enough, you're never black enough, so nobody tells a story. But, I mean, if you think about it, we all have an Indian friend, don't we?
Yep.
We all have people that work with us, and surprisingly, and not so unsurprisingly, I think education plays a big part and a role in why Indians are pretty much everywhere, because their parents place a strong emphasis on education. I mean, for me as well, I'm an accountant. I mean, a lot of our parents, no matter what the race group is, you want a future for your child, and that's medical profession, accounting profession, the legal profession, and Indians today serve a part of pretty much every sphere of South African society.
We are unpacking the cane cutter, which brings 165 years of South African Indian history to life through a love story that spans generations. And on the line, we are joined by the lead actor and filmmaker Razin Dada. We'll continue our conversation with him right after this. It's 19 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Leo tunajadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki wao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanapenda kuhubiria muziki ya zamani hizo muziki ya wengine ambao ni taimbo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudilia mara mbili studio, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndio wanaanza kazi ya muziki aizani, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuja kuona kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za. The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
The Cane Cutter, film bringing 165 years of South African Indian history to life through a love story that spans generations. And on the line, we continue our conversation with the lead actor and filmmaker, Razin Dada. Razin, let's talk about the location for this film. It was shot in Durban and some parts in New York. But how important was the location and how did it influence the emotion that was being conveyed in this film?
So Durban was pretty much a character in the film, if I can call it that. We filmed in New York, we filmed in America, and and Cape Town as well. But it's so nice to see Durban as a location. I mean, we actually have I think one of the most beautiful countries in the entire world. Yep. And that's why, South Africans, they can leave and go wherever they want to in the world, but they'll always keep coming back because we have an amazing, incredible country. And there's so many locations that we can tell. And it makes me proud, even as a filmmaker, as an actor, to tell and to show Durban, Cape Town in such a beautiful way. And that brings a lot of tourism to the country. And that's very significant and makes me very proud as a South African. And I think people watch it. They're also very surprised at how beautiful Durban can look in a film. And I think it's really good for South African tourism and South African film in general. And hopefully it gives other filmmakers an idea of what's possible, if you're very proud of your country and your locations.
That's so beautiful, Razin. You literally lit up talking about Durban. But KZN is really just so stunning. Yep. I mean, lush green. Driving through KZN in general, not just the city of Durban, is one of the most exquisite and scenic and picturesque places that you could ever go to. But let's talk about working with or under the directorship of Dr. Ubulus Timothy, as I understand it, and Shane Moodley on production. How were they able to help the cast bring to life these big, beautiful themes in the story around reflecting on identity, on memory, and also love as a generational connector, as it were?
Absolutely. So I think in any film set, it really pays to have a strong level of experience. I mean, Shane Moodley was a co-founding chairman of the NFVF, and Dr. Ubulus Timothy is a co-founding member of the Cape Town Film Commission. So, that's, years and decades of film experience. And I think in filmmaking in South Africa, you have to be able to film efficiently, smartly, and cost effectively. So I think having that level of experience really helped to be able to deliver such a significantly cinematic film under, certain funding constraints and that sort of thing, because it really was pulled off. So the money was spent on making an incredible film, and there was no wastage. So I think that was a significant thing, and I think that helps any prospective filmmaker in the country, and I think it's a great resource to tap into. So I think any filmmaker, should consult with Dr. Eublis Timothy or Shan Woodley, because filmmaking is an expensive task, but if you can try and make something that's expensive and more affordable, that really helps. Yeah. So, but it was great. I mean, I learned a lot as an actor, and I think it grew me tremendously. And I'm sure all the actors really excel under that experience.
Razine, talk to us about your co-star and the chemistry on, in front of the camera, behind the camera. Dr. Kajal Luchmanarain. I hope I said it properly. Talk to us about working with her, because she's a real doctor, if I'm not mistaken, and then she got to be a doctor on screen as well.
Yes, absolutely. No, she's fantastic. We must be really great actors. People said there was a lot of good chemistries. That's a good sign. And yeah, I mean, let me know when you guys want to watch the film. Happy to get the marketing team to send tickets. And so, no, she was fantastic to work with. I think, someone who's a plastic surgeon, it shows a level of discipline. We have incredible talent in the country, and the discipline that you apply to one thing is how you apply it to anything. Yeah. And so she put the level of commitment that she took to becoming a plastic surgeon into this acting performance. And I mean, being an actor from not being an actor, that's a significant transformation or significant journey, and she pulled it off really well because she puts her best 200% into the role that she played, and it's been a huge, I'd say, success for South African filmmaking.
Man, I mean, the both of you are
because it's been so well received. Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to say the both of you are extremely good looking. Oh my goodness. Just based on, wow. Based on this flyer, I want to come and watch you guys. Let's talk about, the film premiered in Durban last month in November. Talk to us about the reception since it premiered in Durban.
Durban has been phenomenal for this film. I guess largely in tune with the Indian audience. But I think we had premieres in Johannesburg and Cape Town, and it was attended by all the South African race groups, and it was 98% capacity in Cape Town, pretty much 99% capacity in Johannesburg. And Durban, we were like 110% capacity. So that was a bit hectic. But the film is still going incredibly strong. There's been more shows in Durban than was initially released, which is always a good sign. And I think it's been well received because it also shows two of my friends in the film, Vanessa Prudence is played by Vanessa Marawa. A lot of people will know Vanessa. She's on Boomer FM. Yeah. And she's Marawa's sister, and she's also done a lot of stuff in her own right. And this other guy, Zach, which is played by Adam Dore, he's also done a lot of film work. And it shows you how us South Africans can work together to achieve what we want to achieve. And it's so nice because we work together as diverse race groups to achieve great things. And that's what makes me really proud, because that's how we work as a country and how we work together.
Where can we watch the movie? For those who didn't attend the initial launch, where can we find it now?
We can find it, it's playing at the Glen, at Killarney, and at Menlyn in Johannesburg, at Canal Walk and the Grand West in Cape Town, and it's playing in Durban pretty much every cinema. And so yeah, Galleria, Belito, Gateway, Pavilion, Columbia.
Is this New Metro or Stakinako?
New Metro and City Center.
Okay, amazing.
Really it seems like New Metro is really taking the cake from Stakinako, I must say. They've taken over. Gateway is now New Metro. Cavendish is now New Metro. But I think it's nice because they upgrade their cinemas, they maintain it, which is really nice because cinema is an experience. You don't go out to pay almost 200 a ticket unless you're coming for an experience, and that's what I like about New Metro as well.
That's true. What's next for you as a filmmaker? Besides, we were talking about the Kane Kata as your lead role, but what's next for you as a filmmaker?
We're filming this film called The Dream Haunter in April, and that's a horror film. So I think we're going to be filming in April for about 3 weeks, and then we'll be releasing it in time for Halloween 2026. So for horror fans, that's something different. But you know, from the filmmaker's journey, you always want to try and do something different, something exciting, and just keep it real, keep it fresh. And that's what challenges us as South African creatives. I mean, you guys are exceptionally creative people, and we have to keep pushing ourselves. And that's exciting. I hope you make sure. Send me the email and I'll send you guys the tickets as well for Halloween 2026.
We'd love that.
Thank you. Actually, yes, it's very appropriate for Halloween. Man, it was such a pleasure to talk to you. The Cane Cutter, if you're into drama and a bit of romance, this is for you. Actually, you can check out the trailer. If you go on newmeshow.co.za, you'll be able to see the trailer with the wonderful cast, Dr. Kajal Luchmaninarien, I think, and Razeen Dada, whom we just spoke to, who's one of the main characters, Shika Maharaj as part of the film as well, and as mentioned, Vanessa Marawa as well. Please check it out and support good quality South African film brought to you by Trinity Pictures. I'm very excited to take my pack and we're going to go watch this one.
Absolutely. It's 30 minutes
Thank you,
after.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much, Nazreen. Thank you so much for your time, Razeen, rather. And I tell you what, I was thinking about when last did I go watch an Indian South African movie. And it was back in the Keeping Up with the I can't remember the surname there. But I remember the cinematography. It's world class, and I don't think this will be anything less. Our film cinematography and our filmmaking ability in South Africa is just world class, and we need to support our local creatives. It's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the final sports update on the upside.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
First up is football news. Orlando Pirates playmaker Patrick Tito Maswanganyi says he never allowed himself to expect a Bafana call-up for this month's AFCON in Morocco. Maswanganyi featured in qualifiers for both AFCON and the FIFA World Cup and was included in Hugo Bruce's preliminary 54-man squad. But the midfielder felt his chances of making the final cut were always slim. Maswanganyi admitted that he wasn't surprised when his name didn't appear in the final 25-man list.
I think I already knew I wasn't going to make it to the AFCON squad because I wasn't playing. You know, I would get like few minutes to play. But I think when I was called up into the national teams, I had problems with like small injuries. And I think those kind of things, like, they do affect your mind and also like your position in the national team, because there's lots of players in the country that are really working hard and they are doing very well to be in that position. So for me, I didn't even think about it because I knew already I wasn't going to make it.
Bruce has touted Maswanganyi as the ideal replacement for veteran Themba Zwane, but the Pirate star says he expected the outcome.
Yeah, for sure it does, because everyone wants to be there, but if you can't be there, you can't force things. And I think I need to like work hard and try and wait for my opportunity if it's gonna come again, because now I'm working very hard and trying to get my place in the team first, so that if I can do very well in the team, I stand a chance to make it in the national team.
Diego Simeone says his Atletico Madrid players are ready to respond as they prepare to face PSV Eindhoven at the Philips Stadium in the UEFA Champions League tonight. Speaking after Monday's training session, Simeone says the mood in the camp is focused despite back-to-back defeats to Barcelona and Athletic Club. On the challenge of playing away, he says strength is starting games well is key, especially when they are playing away from home. Atletico have lost their last 3 Champions League away matches. Another defeat would equal their worst ever run in the competition. However, they are unbeaten against Dutch teams in the Champions League this century and have never lost to PSV in 6 previous meetings. On to rugby news. The Lions are still incredibly bothered by their loss to Benetton last Saturday in the European Challenge Cup. The Joburg side has travelled to England to face the Newcastle Red Bulls in the second week of the same tournament this coming Saturday. The team is determined not to let last week's loss derail their hard-won games. Assistant coach Baron Pieterse wants the travelling squad to play Lions brand rugby and get the win.
Look, we need a win, especially after this weekend. So we're going to go there for a win, and like I said, if these youngsters can stand up and bring the energy and go showcase how we actually wanted to play this past weekend, that will be very nice.
Finally, Carlos Alcaraz returns from injury but loses to Francis Tiafoe in exhibition comeback. Alcaraz suffered a 6-3, 3-6, 10-7 defeat to Tiafoe in New Jersey, marking his first match since missing the Davis Cup finals due to injury. The world number one had withdrawn from Spain's Davis Cup tie, citing a muscular edema, and watched as Italy, without Jannik Sinner, secured a 3-0 sweep to claim the title. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Ngwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
36 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the final business news this afternoon. On the upside, Buntle Headbush is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo, and a very good afternoon to our listeners. Our top story this hour: Total Energies and Gulp have agreed to exchange stakes across 3 Namibian offshore licenses in a deal that places Total Energies as operator of the Mopane discovery and consolidates its leadership in Namibia's emerging offshore sector. The deal also expands Gulp's footprint in the Orange Basin and gives it exposure to the Venus development. Under the agreement, Total Energies will take a 40% stake in Petroleum Exploration License, or PEL 83, where Mopane was discovered earlier in 2025. In return, Gulp will receive a 10% stake in PEL 56, home to the Venus discovery, and a 9.39% interest in PEL 91. Total Energies already operates Venus, the largest confirmed find in Namibia to date. South African consumers are showing improved willingness to spend, with a rise in consumer confidence being noted in the fourth quarter of the year. The FNB Consumer Confidence Index improved by -9 points in the fourth quarter after falling from -10 to -13 in the third quarter of 2025. The uptick in the Consumer Confidence Index, coupled with employment gains and a further interest rate cut, suggests that retail growth moderation could be less than expected compared to the same time last year. FNB Chief Economist Mamelo Matikinca-Ngwenya explains.
It is the highest consumer confidence reading for 2025. The improvement in consumer sentiment suggests that consumers' appetite to spend extended into the holiday season. All 3 of the sub-indices of the Consumer Confidence Index improved during the fourth quarter of 2025. The sub-index measuring the appropriateness of the present time to buy durable goods saw the largest jump from -20 to -14 index points, reaching the highest level since the second quarter of 2019. Lower interest rates and a stronger rand exchange rate are supporting the affordability of durable goods in particular.
South Africa's Itala Bank depositors have begun flocking to branches designated to pay out their funds in KwaZulu-Natal as government begins the process of releasing funds. The National Treasury has made up to $129.64 million available to start payments this week through FNB. Zanele Buthelezi reports.
Depositors are being sent SMSs directing them to the branches to submit their information before receiving funds. The funds will be available to depositors at the new banking institution for withdrawal or transfer until 2028. More than 250,000 depositors with Itala had their funds frozen at the beginning of the year. Itala, with the support of the provincial government, is fighting a liquidation application filed by the South African Reserve Bank's Prudential Authority.
Deputy Minister of Small Business Development, Jane Sithole, says youth entrepreneurship programs are reaching thousands of young people across the country and creating opportunities for those from rural communities. She was speaking at the National Youth Entrepreneurship Awards ceremony in Johannesburg today. Young innovators were recognized at the event for their green job-creating solutions that address climate and community challenges. Sithole says the reach and impact of the program shows the potential of youth-led innovation when properly supported.
This program has reached thousands of young people across 9 provinces, making it one of the largest youth entrepreneurship pipelines in the country. And what inspires us most, as Honorable Singh said, is that most of the listeners are mostly African from rural areas. If we are not inspired to do more, then we will never be inspired. This is really outstanding because you can see that hope is created where it was once lost. And for that, we thank Christ.
President Donald Trump has announced a $12 billion aid package for American farmers affected by low crop prices and his own trade policies. Most of the money is earmarked for one-time payments to farmers of row crops like corn and soybeans. Sorghum and soybean growers have been hit hard by the Trump administration's trade dispute with China. The BBC's David Willis has the details.
This is a community that, of course, generally supports Donald Trump, whose backing helped him secure a second term in the White House, yet his trade policies have hurt them. And the president launched a trade war with China in the spring, of course. The tariffs he imposed on exports to the United States have cost the agricultural community here billions of dollars, it's estimated, in lost sales at a time when that community is also having to deal with the rising price of such things as fertilizers and tractors and so on.
And now taking a look at the indicators, $1 US in Nigeria is trading at 1,449 naira this afternoon. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 15. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 55. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 10. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rial 43. Russia, 76 rubles 39. India, it's 90 rupees and 8. China, 7 yuan 6. South Africa, $1 trading at 16 rand 97 cents. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $4,204 per ounce, platinum at $1,649 per ounce, while the price of Brent crude oil is at $62.60 a barrel. And that's the business news. I'll be back with our final look at the indicators in the next hour. In the meantime, if you have any business stories you'd like to share with us, please do send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or give us a call on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Buntle Hetbush.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Madapiri pazoshitika. Madapiri pazoshitika.
Inogeka zingeni chihana lumbiritsidwa kukhala wabiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko la Malawi pa mwambo omwe unachitika ku nyumba ya chifumu ya Sanjika mu mzinda wa Blantyre. Ndiye pano tili ndi olemekezeka achihana takulandirani olemekezeka pano pa wireless ya Channel Africa pa Chinyanja Service. Malawi ayembekezere zotani kuchokera kwa inu ngati wachiwiri winanso kwa president wa dzikolo?
Choyamba ngati vice president umagwira ntchito yopatsidwa ndi president imene yakuganizira. Ndiye malowozi athu ati atipatsa bwinobwino, koma ntchito yathu yayikulu ndikuwathandiza president kuti masomphenya awo akwaniritsidwe. Pali zambiri zoti zichitike, nkhani ya njala mdziko muno, boma la udakali chimanga ndi china chomwe chili mdziko muno kuti tithandize families are affected. Chachiwiri kunali ma fuel shortages amene akanaliponso apo ndi apo, tionetsetse kuti pumps athu asakhale dry.
zochitika pa nthawi ya 6 koloko kufikira 7 koloko madzulo, lolemba mpaka lachisanu ndi Madaphiri.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Open the fire, play the bed, do let them know. No finish you, no finish you. Man no fit tire, every day I'm on the road. No limit you, no limit you. Hey, this now so good. Would you turn down for? Would you robo? Many things we can do. Tori, I'm into you. Would you wire for you? Tonight I'll be dancing at the pen away. Give me your hand and shoulder. Cause you should get up. Blessings for your head up. Give me your hand and shoulder. But I know go get us. Better go look at us.
Can't take away the fact that young boy is blessed. Back in the days when they beg for bread. All night we do pray for church. Now everything we do is correct. They're looking at me like, how did you fight them for tech? Me, I just look them like this and smirk. Charlie, I've been chasing this dream, not me today. But sometimes bad mamas play. Every I do call. Give her make she start shock. Jamaican we so fire. Touch me down there, come a chaka. And if you chop all of my money, make a damn. Be on my case like young Tadu. Baby, I'm just trying to grow on my wings so I can fly with you.
Give me your hand and shoulder. Cause you should get up. Blessings for your head up. Give me your hand and shoulder. But I know go get us. Better go look at us. Give me your hand and shoulder. Cause you should get up. Blessings for your head up. Give me your hand and shoulder. But I know go get us. Better go look at us.
Chola balaba, para kitina kile soba. Repoto me mutuli si the top. Top me mutuli si the top. In USD, I wanna be a millionaire. Hands up high like I just don't care. Go shorty, not slowly. Don't tell me you love me.
Yeah,
show
let's
me.
take it back to the raps, checks. Living this life like the best, facts. I just wanna stack rags. Taking it way to the max. Abu Dhabi, red Ferrari room. Let's go up, we take it to the moon. Shawty say that this her favorite tune. Jump on the remix and there we go. Boom.
Give me your hand and shoulder. Cause you should get up. Blessings for your head up. Give me your hand and shoulder. But I know go get us. Better go look at us.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
It's 12 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. Beautiful music coming through on the Upside this afternoon. That last song we were listening to there, is that Ijo? Yeah, Ijo by Crayon, featuring Camido, Costa Titch, and Focalistic. Good afternoon to you, Tamin Kubeni. She joins us in the studio as we hand over the mic to the Queen of Africa in business. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you doing today?
Can't complain. It's been a fantastic day. I was telling Mmatsheko I went for a hike earlier today. clear skies. And then now, like coming to studio, they all gathered up.
I tell you what, the effects of climate change, and I guess one can only, ascribe this to climate change, because this is not typical Johannesburg weather.
It's not.
This time of the year. The rains, it's literally raining almost every single day. So there you have it. But here's what we've got in store for you this afternoon on Africa in Business. There's been a lot of focus on the borrowing patterns of Nigerian President Tinubu and borrowing from the World Bank. And as far as current estimates are concerned, it's projected that by the end of December 2025, which is now, there's going to be a $9.65 billion debt. That's under administration with the World Bank. That's with the President Tinubu. So it's quite a bit. So we're going to be talking about his borrowing from loans from 2023, etc., and how that then impacts the country and where those loans are actually being directed to. There's obviously the power sector, which is very much dominated, recovery there being essential, issues of renewable energy, girl education, women's economic empowerment. So we'll take a holistic look at the World Bank debt that Nigeria has.
Always invaluable conversations on Africa in Business with the Queen of Africa in Business, Tami Ngubeni. Catch her at 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et vos 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
The Upside with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Mosito, bringing Africa's voices to the world. On Channel Africa, the African perspective.
9 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time, the final stretch of The Upside, your gateway to the good life on Channel Africa, the African perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and Mmatsheko Mosito. We're still coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. It's time now for What Caught Your Eye. Quite a few things have caught my eye, all right, besides the weather situation. But I want to talk about this important thing that caught my eye, which is the fact that Google, Mmatsheko, you have a Google account, right? With a Gmail something you've got?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Google has been hit with one of the largest and the biggest privacy verdicts of the year. A U.S. court ordered the tech giant to pay $420 million after it was found to have tracked users even when they switched their tracking off. But here's the catch. Only U.S. users can claim. Even though Google operates globally and millions of people outside America use it daily, the class action applies strictly to the U.S. residents because the lawsuit was filed under American privacy and consumer protection laws, right? But what about us in Africa? Can't we claim, right, under the same, under the same conditions, concerns? For us as Africa to claim and be eligible for compensation in a case like this, quite a few things have to happen. One of them is that a class action must be filed in an African court, right? So it's been, America have won the class action suit there. They said, okay, cool, Google, you are busy tracking people. We've switched off our cookies, we've switched off our tracking, but you were still able to track us. You're not supposed to. All right. And so in Africa, we can also apply the same thing, but it needs to be filed in Africa. A local law firm or an advocacy group would need to take Google to court within a specific African jurisdiction, arguing the same privacy violations affected and how they affected the people in Africa. Second thing that needs to happen, national laws must clearly prohibit the conduct. Countries like South Africa, for example, have strong data protection laws, for example, the POPIA Act. But a court must find that Google's behavior violated those local laws, not just in the US. And then there must be evidence that African users were harmed in the same way. Lawyers would need to prove that Google collected data from African users under the same conditions, despite privacy settings being turned off. And then number 4 is that there needs to be a certification of a local class action. African courts would need to agree that the case can proceed as a class action representing millions of local users. Not all African legal systems, unfortunately, allow US-style class actions, so this is going to be an important step for us to take as a continent. If America won that class action suit, and we are also using the same services, Google, should we not also pursue the same thing?
Yeah, digital cased systems is what I call this. And we're seeing it manifest in different places. And now we're here on Google. I mean, it's just deplorable that we're always at the bottom of the food chain.
I am one of those people.
It's just horrible.
I will benefit. I must get compensated. Every single time I get asked, do you want to cook? I reject. Do you want to track? Should we track you? What? Reject. Don't track.
No, don't.
So clearly
you have no right. You've got to earn the right.
Clearly they're still doing that. So if we file an action suit here in South Africa, I'll be number 1 there to get my compensation. Anyway, what caught your eye?
Listen, I'm also thinking digital. I saw a tweet by Elon Musk. I don't follow him. Just a disclaimer. I don't follow him.
You're on X.
Musk. I am on X. I do have an X account at Mosito. I've had it since the year 2009.
You'll see him regardless.
Yeah, unfortunately. He was asking people, I mean, I'm just like this guy. We know it's your ground and you can stomp on it whenever you feel like it. He was asking us, ex-users, if we would appreciate if he changed the name back to Twitter. And I was like, are you that bored? Are you that bored? If I'm not mistaken, it was the year 2023 when he bought Twitter, right? And I have never called it anything else but Twitter because I don't have time to tell my brain to call it something else. It's Twitter. Twitter. We tweet. We are tweeps. Like it is what it is. So what are you doing asking us, should you change the name back to Twitter? Do you think we have time to play? Honestly, we need to get funding models for our continent. We need to change our food systems. We need to craft regenerative futures. We don't have time for your nonsense. Things. We honestly really do not have time. We've got a problem of gender-based violence, on the continent of Africa. We don't have time for this. It has been Twitter in my universe for the longest time. I saw somebody say the same thing, like, but we've been calling it Twitter. We don't care what you call the thing, sir. You could call it dot, but for us, it will forever be Twitter. And I hold that opinion that I actually really couldn't give a rat's bottom what you call it. It will forever be Twitter to me. Thank you.
No. Honestly, he's very bored.
He's bored.
Very, very bored. It is Twitter. We've been calling it Twitter. Because I asked the question the other time. I was like, okay, remember on Twitter, you can tweet, right? You can tweet on Twitter.
We tweet and we're tweeps.
Yeah, we're tweeps. So I was like, what do we say now if it's X? What do? We Xed?
X's. Imagine being an X.
It's Twitter. It will always be Twitter. I
you.
don't know why he thought by changing it into an X sign we'll call it anything else. So we'll stick to Twitter. And yes, turn it back. Then let's get it over with and stop being bored. Hey, people who have too much money.
It was actually a mini event.
That was
that was a ventilation. Oh my goodness. I love it for me. Double vent for the day.
Oh man, we had a fun show today. We had fantastic guests. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. I mean, we spoke about gifting your loved ones this festive season and introducing them to natural CBD infused skincare
clean
products.
Ingredients. Yes.
Clean ingredients. And then we also got to speak to sportcaster, journalist, all-round nice guy, Mr. Lelo Mzaka about his latest book where he's reviewing over 40 40 South African classic movies. He's reviewing them, telling us the themes and the stories. It's an amazing book and a great initiative for us who love film.
Absolutely. It was great. And then we spoke about The Cane Cutter, which is a brand new film that was recorded in Durban and in parts of New York City, in Cape Town as well. So please go check that out. Just by the way, go and support local cinema. This is our cue, isn't it?
It is our cue. I thought you were going to say somewhere it was such in Kolkata. Less than a minute to go. The Upside is coming to an end. Upsiders, let's do this again tomorrow. Same time, same place. African Business is coming up next with the Queen of African Business. That is Tami Ngubeni. Bye-bye.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et vos 3 minutes